This episode of the Wax Pack Flashback is brought to you by Trading Card Database. Visit tcdb.com.
Hey there, Wax Packers! Adam coming at you with another edition of Wax Pack Flashback. And man, this one is action-packed because this time around we are opening up a pack of, Street Fighter the Movie trading cards. That's right, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. Oh, this movie, man. I mean, there was nothing bigger in the early to mid-90s than Street Fighter 2. In arcades, just in pop culture, playing it at home on the home consoles, whatever it was, like, every kid had a favorite Street Fighter character. We were all doing the Hadoukens. I remember being in the pool in the summer, and I was doing fireballs under the water, right? You know, you're doing all your special moves, trying to do a hurricane kick or whatever, jumping out of the water like a dolphin and doing your spinning uppercut. Yeah, I mean, there were just so many cool features and just the designs of the characters, so it was one of those things that I remember my first time playing Street Fighter 2 was definitely in a Pizza Hut, going in there, popping in a few quarters, but just even seeing that attract mode screen, with that guy in the white t-shirt doing the street fight, so anyway, such a cool game. So when I heard the movie was coming out, of course I was super excited, and I was there opening weekend. I remember going to theaters and being like, oh, I gotta see this movie. And then I remember the disappointment of walking out of the theater and saying to myself, oh no, why did this happen? Why did they do it this way? So I mean, definitely Steven D'Souza, the writer-director, maybe just gave us something we weren't ready for. It wasn't until many years later, watching it on home video, right? I have it on Blu-ray as well, and you see Street Fighter in a different light. Is it good? It's not good. Mortal Kombat, the movie, we talked about this when we opened those cards, definitely had the balance right. Street Fighter maybe skews more to the comedic and ridiculous, but when you look at it now, it is entertaining. I think that's ultimately what it comes down to. Just the caliber of actors you have in there. They all have some charisma, and I think it goes a long way. So I'm interested to look at these cards to see which side of the scale they represent. Is it going to be something that they're kind of playing on the fun factor, or are they just taking it 100% serious? Want you to think that the cards and the movie are something that is to be respected, which it is not. Again, maybe unless you look at it in the parody sense. So I think this is going to be a very interesting pack of cards to check out, so let's get into it. Alright, so here we are with our pack of Street Fighter the Movie trading cards from 1995. The first thing I want to point out here is if you look up there, that is the Pyramid logo. That means this is an Upper Deck produced set of cards. Pyramid was their non-sports brand card initiative. I don't know what you call that. Imprint, something like that. But as far as, we got Guile here, we got Cammy, we got Vega, we got M. Bison, so that's a good looking crew of characters there, but also really kind of hard to read that text there, but what it says is the excitement of the hit movie, the action of the best-selling video game. The 90 card set features dynamic scenes from the movie, game superstar cards, in-depth portraits of the stars, a look behind the scenes, randomly inserted special FX and LE chase cards. I do not know what either of those are, what they promise there. It does tell us we get 8 cards per pack. As far as what's on the back here, it does tell us that it is endorsed by Capcom, so at least you know that, but all the information we need was on the front. But this is a nice foil pack, so let me get into that here. Oh, I love it. Okay, so let's take a look here and see what we have. All right, so first up, we have M. Bison, played by the late, great Raul Julia. He's looking very dignified there, but let's take a look what these superstar cards are about. Huh. Okay, interesting. So this is an actual bio of the actor, not of the character. I assume there's kind of one of each there, but you get the basic rundown of what he was all about. So, yeah, his last role. Let's see here. All right, so now you have Ken. So again, the actor playing Ken, but look, he's on the background of the video game on the docks. So that's really interesting. So how is this one going to play out? And this one is about the video game character, giving you the breakdown there. You know, there's so much lore of Street Fighter. Like, I know Ken and Ryu, of course, Ryu, if you want to be super, Ryu? I don't know, all those names. But this is interesting. I know they're connected. They have the same sensei or whatever, but here we have the Hadouken Fireball as his special move and all of that. So get the breakdown on Ken. So we went from the kind of the red gi of Ken to this very blue scene from the movie of Blanca choking Guile there. So that's pretty intense. What is the title of this card here? A Perfect Warrior Matchup. Yeah, so it says, Guile cannot see who or what has lifted him off the floor. All he knows is he is having his life's breath choked out of him. Can he reach his holster in time? Dun, dun, dun. I'm sure the next card would help us with that cliffhanger, find out what happened here. Oh, now look at this. Now this scene here, you have Ryu and Ken breaking in on Bison trying to seduce Chun-Li, but of course now she's had her big monologue about how he killed her father, and the famous line, "For me, it was Tuesday." Which is awesome. But man, just look at how much text they are packing into these cards. That's a lot. That's a lot of reading to do, honestly. That's kind of intense there, but real high quality, a nice gloss to these. Now, who is Sawada? I do not remember Sawada. It says Japan. This looks like E. Honda's bathhouse stage background, but I don't remember Sawada. So what is this about here? Look, there's even a big question mark. Like, who is this guy? Okay. A martial arts movie star, Sawada used his influence and notoriety to gain access into the armed forces of the Allied nations and was awarded the honor of blah, blah, blah. Okay, special moves unknown at this time. And then so the game hint. New for Street Fighter 1995, Captain Kenzo Sawada, one of Japan's newest motion picture and martial arts stars, is now a character in one of the hot new video games of the year. So, this must have been a big promotional thing. This guy was a big deal in Japan. And so he gets a cameo in the movie, which I do not remember. And then he was probably digitized into Street Fighter, the movie, the game, which was very Mortal Kombat-esque. So, that is bizarre. An interesting bit of history there. All right, behind the scenes, speaking of bizarre, what is this guy doing here with his sleeveless shirt and what could be a mullet behind there on M. Bison's little floating pad? Who is this here? Ray Brownie Brown, Street Fighter's key grip, foreman of the crew. He'd probably have some sort of forearm special move, though, if he was a fighter. Yeah. So basically they're just saying how they made M. Bison's, what they're calling his floating desk, which is pretty hilarious. Of course, the best part of this was that it had an actual Street Fighter arcade cabinet console on it, which was super awesome. Oh, all right. Okay, I was hoping we'd get a Cammy card. Kylie Minogue as Cammy. Of course, she was a favorite of mine in the video game itself. She had a very different outfit here, but speaking of Street Fighter, the movie, the game, they got her more game accurate for that when she suited up. But this is, okay, so this is telling us about Kylie Minogue herself. She is called the Dance Floor Diva and wasn't selected for her role as Cammy until 2 weeks before shooting began. Wow, okay, and then giving us some bios about all her international hits. But, you know, it's interesting to hear that, because I don't know who the original actress was, but speaking of 90s video game adaptations, Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat was played by Bridget Wilson, but she too was a last-minute replacement. It was supposed to be Cameron Diaz, but she got injured in her training and had to back out, and Bridget Wilson got called in at the last minute. So something about these lead female characters in fighting game-based movies in the 90s, they end up being last-minute replacements, but not too shabby on either front, if you ask me. Oh, and finally here, okay, we have a Street Fighter logo card. We got the movie logo card. Is this the first or the last card here? Okay, so that's 89, so second to last. Last one must be a checklist. That's usually how this goes. So, yeah, this is just like all the information you get on the poster. Pretty cool logo. I think it's really intense and looks nice to get your attention for the movies. But, all right, that's what we have for this set of cards. Now, why don't we check out which one was my favorite? Okay, so Street Fighter the movie cards, a pretty nice production, really cramming a lot of information on those cards, and a lot of twists and turns, stuff that I was not expecting, just the format of it all, and I'll get into my favorite card in just a minute, but I did want to mention, you know, if you've been watching over the last month or so, a lot of the card packs I've been opening up came from a gentleman named Joel Block. He is a devoted viewer of Wax Pack Flashback and a trading card collector and trader from way back. So he contacted me and we did a nice big trade. And so that's where a lot of these unique packs have been coming from. So thanks to Joel for that and initiating that. But the one thing that he said when he gave me this card, this pack of Street Fighter, the movie cards, there was a promotional item here, and that was a Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter Pog, okay? So of course we remember Pogs. We do not review them here on the Wax Pack Flashback, but I'm sure that was a promotional piece that was probably given out in theaters. That was a thing back in the day. I still have my The Mask Pogs, and I know there were many other movies of that era that were doing the same thing. So Joel, thanks just for including that extra bit of fun. Now, as far as my favorite card, this is, again, I always like to learn something that I didn't know before about the property that was, you know, being featured in the cards. And so I definitely have to say that this card here of this character who I know nothing about, who I'm now going to research more. I want to find out, like, what was his deal being included just in this game? And he was a big action star, but now, you know, he's going to be in a video game, but I don't think the character ever went farther than that. I still love this question mark that should just be on his chest, right? Just a big question mark. Who am I? I guess you'll find out if you're interested, or if you're in Japan, you already know. So this one here, if you have the information and you want to lay it out to us in the comments below, I am more than willing to let you do the research, or if you're just a big fan. So that about does it for this edition of Wax Pack Flashback. Of course, we also want to remind you this time around, you know, the Retro Network has a lot of great content on the retronetwork.com. But if you go over in this month right now of September, as we're ramping up to Halloween in October, HalloweenCostumes.com right now is the sponsor of the Retro Network for these next few months. And they have a great selection of costumes, but also just like pop culture in general. There are video games, comic books, cartoons, like movies, like everything you could want is over there. And if you go to the retronetwork.com, you find the banner ad for HalloweenCostumes.com and click it. It'll take you to their website. You automatically get 20% off. 20% off your cart that you, whatever you're putting in there, whatever you want to buy from them that time around. So it's a pretty good deal. I ordered from them last year. I'm going to be ordering from them this year as well. There's a whole bunch of fun things to find there. So really recommend that you check it out for yourself. Again, that's on the retronetwork.com, and HalloweenCostumes.com is our sponsor. And of course, if you want to be back for more nostalgic fun, we will be here again. So hit that subscribe button for TRN TV, because I got another stack of cards burning a hole in my hands here. You know, they're hot, hot, hot. Anyway, we will check you later, and we'll see you next time.